Why, hello. Hello, hello. Hi. It is me. It is I. Small time Didi, your head in these year internet. Akastracha, I'm back. Thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. One of you always reminds them. One of you, like, whenever I don't say it, I appreciate you so much. Is always in the comments, like the video. Because you're like, honey, girl, bitch, tell the people. uh, Probably a month or so ago now, if not a little bit more. Scott Maphuma, who is a Yano's artist, I'm a piano artist, I believe, or DJ, whatever. He trended for talking about how he doesn't feel he owes his fans anything. I want you guys to take a look at this clip. Then we're gonna come back and talk about it.
I don't have time for a picture because if I take one picture with you, I have to take a picture with that guy, with that lady, with that what. Then my time, and then Kausali, who's not professional. Scott to fit late, kodi kicking. Late is taking man, go na kodi monyaka video. So people, I don't care. Like yeah, if I can yak, you tell snap at yak, if I don't feel like it. I don't.
And you know they don't understand. They don't understand that. If we tell,
how na motho o nkirileng gore ke fitlhe mo ke leng teng vandag. And how na motho o tong ntsha mo ke leng teng ke le mo vandag. So I don't think I owe it to them. I don't owe it to. I don't think any celebrity owes anyone.
but when they feel entitled.
That's the problem. It's their problem. Like if it's not my problem, it's not my problem. Mo ke qualifating grotmanyaka. If nak vaga mdimo.
Scots obviously needs media training. I believe everything that was supposed to be said was said, right? Like some media training is required. The delivery of it all is important. But I think what we have here is somebody trying to establish boundaries in the way that, like, in a way where it's like you still need to understand that you will attract more bees with honey type of thing. At the same time, I'm like, our lack of boundaries is astonishing. And I think the Scots thing is coming back to the fore because of the everything that's happened around the funeral, Presley's funeral. Everything that happened around that funeral, people expecting the celebrities, the people his industry friends, also his real friends, right? Who happened to be in industry, who were just trying to be in attendance at the memorials, at the funerals, whatever. There were people there expecting photographs, like expecting the celebrity to play into being a celebrity, sign autographs, take picture at a funeral. Mind you, they have a relationship with this man. They are in grief. They are experiencing a tremendous loss in this moment. And when I saw Scott's little outbursts and things that followed after, and the attitude, and they're now constantly stalking him to see if he's going to exhibit that kind of sort of rude behavior, because it's now profitable, I suppose. You can sell papers, you can go viral, all of that stuff to lean into the Scots has got an attitude problem. Scott's Maphuma is this and he's that. Even when he said it at first, I was like, especially with social media and a lot of people getting their start from social media. Something's wrong with my throat. People getting their start from social media and us feeling like we know them going live, them being active on their social media, that thousand steps removed that celebrity used to be from us is just no longer there. And we've gotten a little too familiar. And we do feel like if we are responsible for your ascension, then we can take it away, cancel culture. And you do owe it to us at any moment to show up in this very particular way. And I'm like, perhaps should the conversation then not be that it is okay? His delivery is all fucked up, okay? It's okay for celebrities to have these boundaries. Because if I was out right now and I saw a fave and they look like they're dining with family like it just looks like a very intimate I'm not going to walk up to that person because in that moment they're a dad. In that moment in my mind, I am taking away this person. Maybe it's a guy that I like who's out of his family. I'm taking that child's dad away because my being a fan of them is more important than them being a father to their child in this moment. That's how I've always seen it. Like I've always been like, maybe not always, but that's how I see. Do you get what I mean? So it's always been like, or it is right now, where I feel like I need to read the room. That said, in Scott's instance, I think he just needs to have like those meet and greets after a show, right? Budget it into your time, and that you have to get to the next gig. That you have exactly like that's what social media is for. That I feel we don't use it for that to say. No, Scott prefers to do this thing this way. Your fan base will learn and get to know about you and understand that, okay, after his shows, he has 30 minutes set aside or whatever. And then he takes pictures with fans and signs autographs and do all of that. And everybody is assigned like a minute or 30, whatever. After that, it's capped and he's got to go to the next thing. And it's communicated. It's continuously communicated. That's the nice thing about having this closeness with your fan base. You can condition them to certain things about you, right? But like, you can't do so. You cannot condition them by telling them shit like you don't owe them anything, right? You've worked hard. Sure, this is your talent, right? You have this talent deposited in you and you've honored it and you work hard. But they spend their hard earned money to support your talent, to grow your thing. And fine, it's doing something for them in return. They get to feel good. It's an art form that they can appreciate, that allows them to escape, all of that stuff. But that makes this an exchange, meaning essentially you owe each other. There's something happening here. And even though you're saying you don't want to be famous, it just so happens that the thing you like makes it such that you want to be famous. I could argue that I don't want to be well known. I'm like, I'm sitting here, I'm talking, I'm doing this. Can you imagine I bump into one of you and you're like, oh, Rahari, bro, and I'm like, I'm not a fucking Rahari, bitch. Like, wait, what? Girl, you're in the internet, like on the internet every day, inside of it, calling yourself that. That's freaking weird. Like, you're being a freaking weirdo. Like, but at the same time, guys, the lack of boundaries is weird. That's how it always sounded weird when people are so comfortable posting their kids online and making them celebrities. Like strangers see your kids at the mall and they call them by name. Like they go, hi, Didi. And your kids are like, who the fuck? Like, why do you know my name? Like, who are you? Like, and then you run to your mom because you don't understand why people know you and you don't feel safe and things like that. And I feel like Scott is trying his level best to manage probably what is really something that comes with what it is that he does that he was not ready for. It's being handled very poorly, obviously. It's giving anxiety. And I wish he would have addressed it, but not this way. Because often what happens at that age is that you go the substance way. You don't want to say no to people. You don't want to piss people off. You don't want to fuck up your bag. So you go the substances way, right? To help you cope with that influx of attention and people wanting bits of you and pieces of you and parts of you that you can't afford to give away and you don't want to. And it's uncomfortable. You don't know what this feeling is. So you're like, oh, this, then they give it to you because they know exactly what you're experiencing, but you're a cash cow. You can still make the money right now. They give you this thing so that it can numb you, so that you can give people more and more and more. And you owe people back to a degree because, again, it's an exchange. You do not owe them past a point that you feel uncomfortable. And I think that's the part that perhaps he's trying to communicate and his fan base is not understanding, or the country as a whole is not understanding. Like, no, but we buy your tickets, but we show up, but we support your music. That doesn't mean you're entitled to getting this man's like moment or time when he's feeling like I cannot give of myself right now. Really, the exchange has already happened. You got the music and then you gave him the money. This part is actually extra. We just it comes with the job, so we don't put it like that. It's part of the job, if you would like, but it's extra. That's why Monique wanted to get paid more for it. Can you imagine you're having a bad day and everybody just like, go, let's take a selfie though. I hear all of that, but let's take a selfie. Can you imagine? So I think perhaps the approach is not it. But then do we care when we see the people coming up, when we're seeing Justin Bieber being the way that he was on stage, trying to cope with like stardom and whatever or else that could be possibly happening with him? There's another young lady that seems to be on the rise. I'm not familiar with her. There's a guy who used to post about quids, like he sells quids or something. But I saw a TikTok of his where he's talking about some young lady. He's like, there's this young lady, she's on the come up, and it looks like Mzansi is ready to rally behind her and propel her, but she needs to put that bottle down. And somebody in the comments says, oh, she's actually a very shy girl. She's clearly using that to cope. Because it's hard, you guys. Fame is a monster. It will eat you whole. We were never meant to be known by that many people, to be expected to always show up best behavior, perfectly behaved, on, right? On all the time. Imagine like I'm like, oh, here all the time. And every time I bump into you guys, I have to be like, hello, hi, it is me. When I'm like, babe, like, no, my tonsils are fucked up. Like, I don't want, no. So we now need to decide, do we care about these people as people, or is it that these are people we're consuming? We feel entitled to certain things. We feel entitled beyond a point that they're comfortable with. And if they're not going to give it to us, we're going to punish them by saying things like we're canceling them, we're not going to support their music and all of that stuff. You know, he could do better to redeem himself and how he's carried about there. But how you guys showed up at the memorials and at the funerals, that to me tells me all that it is that I need to know about you all. You really are treating like these are people with real lives. Like they're not consumables. Like I don't know how to explain that. They have real emotions. They go through everyday life just like you. They're in a hurry. They have to pick up their kids at school. They can't stop for a picture with you. I think maybe I'm being controversial. I understand if you're gonna look for work that requires you to be in the public space, you should probably work on being less thank and all of that stuff. But I think it'll be easier to train your audience to understand that you are this and you are that, such that they show up for you in a way where they are understanding that you're perhaps an anxious person and all of that stuff. Like if I'm out and you see me wearing this shirt, that's the day I don't feel like taking pictures, y'all. I'm sorry. But then they know. Or most of them know anyway. Do you understand? You can buy yourself that peace of mind. But then this only works if we recognize celebrities and our faves as people with full lives. Okay? Great. Bye, Yella.